I came to work one morning to find out my grandson fired me. I begged him to let me stay, even as a cleaner. I'd worked there since a kid. After my hubby and daughter passed, the cafe was the only thing keeping me alive. Al fumed. "You nearly burned our family business to the ground." He reminded me that I'd left croissants in the oven, and the cafe nearly burned down. Because of the fire, we couldn't complete a big order. And instead of an apology, I'd sent the client dish soap lemonade. But I clearly recalled turning off that oven and cutting lemons. Al asked me about the homeless man I'd sheltered the day before. I recalled giving Dan a meal and letting him sleep in the back room. Al showed me security footage. Dan stole from us. I saw myself leaving the oven on and mixing dish soap into lemonade. I realized my failing brain and gullibility were wrecking our business. I handed over the cafe to Al and made him my custodian. I signed my own death sentence. In a month, my grandson turned my cafe into an elite restaurant. He banned customers with babies or dogs. I objected. It was inhumane. My daughter didn't raise him like that. But he grabbed my arm and pushed me out. He screamed I wasn't in charge anymore. He yelled that his luxury restaurant was no place for bums, dogs, or old people. Al shoved me in the car and drove me to a home. Weak and powerless, I just stared out the window and waited for death until one day, that hobo Dan, who'd stolen from us, sneaked in to see me. He'd been looking for me to tell me something important about my grandson. When I learned this about Al, I asked Dan to help me escape from that place. Once I got out of the nursing home, I went straight to the police. But they didn't want to listen to me and called Al. He said I was out of my mind and wanted to send me back to the nursing home. But Dan stopped him and said he'd testify that I was telling the truth. Dan got out a wad of cash and said Al had talked him into stealing it. Al had promised Dan to give him a job. Before that, Dan saw Al pouring delicious lemonade into the gutter. The police checked the footage Al had shown me. It was edited. My grandson was arrested for fraud. I got my cafe and life back. I don't know how much time I've left to live, but I'm sure I can make a decent replacement out of Dan. What do you think? Is it parents' fault their kids grow up ungrateful?